What's up, guys? Welcome back to DCA. Today what we're going to do is talk about Polygon, shaping the future. So if you like terrible puns like those, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. I promise I won't do any more though. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to release the MATIC DCA Risk Index today. So with MATIC nearing a breakout, I'm sure lots of people will be interested in this. And, if you're already signed up for the DCA index, you don't need to sign up again. I'm going to start sending it out today. If you have not signed up yet, head over to the Telegram channel if you're interested, and I will send you the MATIC index as well as the others which are already created, which include Cardano, Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin. You'll also get sent out additional DCA index indicators that I make. Okay, you'll get sent these directly in TradingView. So remember, if you're looking at these, make sure you're on the right token, that you have the right DCA index selected, and you're on the 1 day time frame. Okay, guys? So with that said, let's jump on in. Okay, guys, just to quickly review. So MATIC is sitting right now at around a 46 on the DCA index. You'll note that back in mid-May, it actually did head all the way up to this highest DCA index tier. It has come down significantly since that time. It was in the 30 to 40 index level for quite a bit of time, actually, even in September and October. While a lot of other coins or tokens were heating up, MATIC was still kind of just sitting down here in this level, and it's just recently shot up into the 40s to 50s level. Okay, guys, so this is MATIC, and this is the MATIC USD valuation. And back in the middle of May 18th, we hit a high of $2.87. Okay, our highest daily close for MATIC is $2.44. Now, I don't put a lot of stock into these wicks because of the fact that, they happen instantaneously. And to 99.9% of people, that's meaningless, right? Because unless you're specifically staring at your computer at the exact precise moment that you reach this level, it's not a lot of, it doesn't provide a lot of useful information. So I tend to put more stock into the closing levels. With that said, what we're approaching this $2.45 level that we were at in the middle of May. Okay. Right now, we're sitting right at $2.06, and MATIC has been making a nice move slowly over time, but it's sped up a bit since the middle of October, since around October 15th when it made its initial move. And I think a lot of people were waiting for this because, some of the other projects, they were moving more than MATIC was for quite some time. So I think there's a lot of fundamentally, which we don't cover a lot on this channel, but fundamentally, I think MATIC is doing a lot of things which are going to be integral to the future of cryptocurrency. So, especially since it's related to Ethereum, and if you're bullish on Ethereum, then I think there's quite a large reason to therefore be bullish on MATIC as well. We're approaching this $2.45 level. We could very well hit resistance here. We haven't quite tested this level yet. So, we'll see what happens when we come up to test this level here. It could take a little bit more time, and that's all right. I think there's quite a bit of time left in this particular bull market. Now, just remember to go up to $2.45, just to take if we measure here, that's still quite a bit of ways to go, right? We still have 20% just to get up to this prior all-time high close. And if you want to go all the way up to the wick, we have around 40%. So there's still a lot of room to go for Polygon to reach its prior all-time high. And I do tend to believe that will happen. So, there's plenty of headroom. Now, with that said, lots of tokens and coins are, orders of magnitude off of their prior all-time high. However, I think fundamentally, a lot of those coins and tokens that are, say, 2 or 3 or 4 times below their prior all-time high, I don't think they necessarily have the fundamentals that Polygon does. Okay guys, so this is the Polygon Bitcoin valuation. And remember, we've maintained since the beginning that when you look at any of these tokens, you have to look at the token with relation to Bitcoin, not just the token with relation to US dollar. Because if nothing else, this demonstrates your opportunity cost. Okay, so this is saying, what is my opportunity cost of owning MATIC? And that's Bitcoin. So if you held MATIC since this time back here in late May to early June, it has done nothing but bleed with relation to Bitcoin. In fact, it's down about 50%. Let's take a look. So from here down to here, around 42% right now. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean, and I keep stressing this because I think this point gets lost, that doesn't necessarily mean it's down with relation to US dollar. It only indicates that it's down with relation to Bitcoin. So that means if you were holding Bitcoin, you have a potential loss of 42%. You would be up 42 more percent if you had Bitcoin. You know, that's what, and we've said this the whole time. If Bitcoin drops below its 20-week moving average, these altcoins are going to bleed. They're going to bleed. They all do. The next thing that we can do is start to say, well, now that we're back in a confirmed, at least a confirmed rally, right? We've reached a new all-time high. We're above the 20-week moving average. We held the 20-week moving average as support. These are all indicators that we said we needed to hit. We then went on to say, when Bitcoin reaches a prior all-time high, it will usually, and when I say usually, I mean every single time it's done it in the past, every time it's come back to a prior all-time high that it reached before, it's corrected. We've seen that correction in the last few days, and now that it's corrected, like we've said also, I mean, we're just building a narrative, guys. We're building think of it as a story. And except this story is real life, and it's how it plays out every single time. When Bitcoin corrects and then starts its move again, which we've seen a little bit of that, that's when the altcoins are able to make a little move. And that's because those profits come out of Bitcoin and start to trickle into the alts. And that's what you're seeing. I mean, it's just step by step by step. We've laid this all out in the videos over the last few weeks. It's playing out exactly as you would expect it would. The whole point of saying this, we can look at the MATIC to Bitcoin valuation in order to start to make some estimates of where the price may go. Okay, so let's take a look at Ethereum Bitcoin back in 2017. Okay, guys, so to start to come up with an idea for where the price of MATIC may go to, let's take a look at Ethereum in 2017 and see if there's a blueprint already created for these moves for altcoins. So we have Ethereum, and note that where its peak all-time high has occurred. It occurred in the middle of June in 2017. Now recall, the price of Ethereum at that time was approximately $400. So even in 2017, the peak Ethereum to BTC price did not correspond with the peak Ethereum to USD price. That occurred here in January. Okay, so Bitcoin essentially outperformed Ethereum from this point in time to Ethereum's all-time high. So in other words, you would have been better off holding all Bitcoin versus all Ethereum from this first peak to this second. Now, I don't know if that will happen again, but we can speculate that that's the potential at least exists, that that's how this cycle plays out. So that's one thing we can look at. So if we go from this first peak to this second, it was down around 20% or so, 21%. Okay. Now, I just want to point this out, guys, because this is important. Remember, if you are at an all-time high with respect to Bitcoin, it does not mean you're at an all-time high with respect to the USD. So the all-time high ETH BTC occurred up here at around 0.156. Now from that time, we've come down around 55% from this 0.156 level down to where we're at now at 0.07. However, we're 10 times higher with respect to the USD. So this just shows that I think the key thing to think about here is this shows you don't want to be FOMOing in right at the end, because if you get stuck holding, you may make money with respect to the US dollar, but your opportunity cost is Bitcoin, right? In this case, and you would be down 55% of your potential gains you could have made if you had just been holding Bitcoin. That's why you never want to be holding altcoins through a bull market, or sorry, a bear market especially. So, you know, if you look from the peak price down to the bottom of the bear market, Ethereum bled 85% nearly with relation to Bitcoin, right? It's since recovered a lot of that, but you know, that's quite a hit to take. So you're taking on more risk when you hold these altcoins, and you're taking on massive risk when you try and hold them through the setting of a bear market. Which is why, you know, using something like the DCA index can help you get out of those tokens prior to the bear market. Now, with the DCA index and things like that, you won't always sell for the, you know, this top dollar, and that should be, you should be okay with that, because you've been acquiring during these lower time frames. Now, I understand if, you know, where we're at right now in the market, there's a lot of coins where you won't have the opportunity to be acquiring in the lower DCA index levels. But nonetheless, it can still help you with any existing positions you do have. What you shouldn't do is try and FOMO in right at the end, because, you know, you stand to make maybe 2x if you FOMO in right at the end. You stand to make 2x, but you also stand to lose 80 to 90% during a bear market. So, you know, it's taking on a massive amount of risk for relatively low reward. The whole point is, let's take a look at where MATIC may go by using this chart to see, you know, what we did, you know, what Ethereum did back in 2017. So remember, it formed this first peak and then a second, which was about 25% lower. So to do that, we'll go back to the MATIC BTC chart. So this is MATIC BTC. So here are the various MATIC BTC values, and here are various speculative Bitcoin USD prices. Because remember, in order to come up with a valuation for MATIC, you know, we'll look at the MATIC BTC valuation and the BTC USD value. This multiplied by this will give us these values. So the way you would interpret this multiplied by this is this value, okay? And so on and so forth. So you would just come down here and then you'll cross multiply. We're at around, I just put 62,000 right here just for, you know, ease of use. We were actually in reality sitting slightly below that at the moment, at least at the time of filming. Now that gives us an estimated MATIC price of around $2.08. Then we can look at various other MATIC BTC valuations. Now I use 0.53 because that is taking a look at the Ethereum move that we just said. So, you know, we said if it comes down 20% or so, that's going to put us right at around that 0.53 level, okay? And that's looking at, again, just to be clear, it's looking at this move that we made back in the 2017 Ethereum bull market. So if we made that move again, that would put us down here, and these are the prices at this is the price you would expect for MATIC at various Bitcoin valuations. Now, I just want to be clear. Remember, Bitcoin went parabolic during this move here when Ethereum was bleeding with relation to Bitcoin, Bitcoin went parabolic, okay? It went up about 5x in that time. Now, I don't expect Bitcoin to necessarily go up 5x from here, so I didn't even include prices that high. A lot of this chart says that we're expecting Bitcoin to continue to move higher from where we're at. Now, let's say it goes up to 75,000 Bitcoin. Let's say we have a $75,000 Bitcoin. Well, I do expect that MATIC will continue to move up from here, from our current valuation, which you can see is here. I do expect MATIC to continue to move up. The question is, where does that arrive at? What valuation do we arrive at? And I think it's, it has to be almost pure speculation. So this would be if we pulled a move identical to Ethereum. And so if we get to a $100,000 Bitcoin, that would put us right at around $5.30. Now, the more bullish scenario would be, what if we get back to our prior all-time MATIC BTC valuation and Bitcoin is at $100,000? Well, that gives us a $6.65 MATIC. Okay. Then we can just, use some other numbers and say, what if we go above that? And what if we go approximately, 75% above that, and so on and so forth. Now, anything beyond that, I think is just pure, it's anyone's guess. You could basically say anything, any number at that point. I'm just trying to give you realistic expectations for what may happen. So let's take the most bullish scenario and say Bitcoin gets to $200,000 this market cycle and MATIC makes a move, like something like this up to this level, right? This will be that 0.0001 level. Well, that would give you a $20 MATIC. Now, you could also say if Bitcoin were to get to 200K and MATIC stayed right where it's at and didn't leave this range here, that would give you a $6.70 MATIC. I don't think that's likely, because if Bitcoin's at 200K, I have a feeling Ethereum is, 15 or 20K, somewhere in that range. And I think MATIC, being as linked as it is to Ethereum, I think MATIC is making a move with it. So, $20, if Bitcoin were at $200,000, $20 could be a low estimate for MATIC. Okay. I'm just trying to keep it in the realm of possibility based on the facts on the ground at the moment. Okay. And we're significantly far away from $200,000. I mean, it's not even worth talking about at this point, I would say. In my opinion, what is realistic for this market cycle? I think that to say that we get back to the prior all-time high and perhaps up to this 0.8 level, I think that is certainly within the realm of possibilities. Okay, even this 0.0001 level is not out of the realm of possibility. So what I suspect is that this sort of range here, I do not think we will stay at this valuation. I think we will move up from that. With that said, let's go ahead and just ignore this one for now. We'll say that, we think that the scenario is more bullish than that at the moment. So let's forget that. So that puts us into this range here. I also tend to think that we will go above at least to our prior all-time high. So let's just look at these values then. Then it becomes about, where do you think Bitcoin is going to go? Conservatively, I would say $80,000 to $90,000 is certainly, taking on the, let's take a range. On the lower end, let's say $80,000 to $90,000 is where we get to with Bitcoin. So let's just round to 100. And then significantly more bullish, I would say $200,000, but I like to be conservative. So let's only look at the 100,000 to 150 range. Okay. You have to remember, $100,000 is going to be a massive psychological event. I have a feeling that when we hit $100,000, if we get to that number, and probably slightly before we get to it, there's probably going to be just a huge correction. People, I think, are just going to start profit taking. You know, they're going to start front running and profit taking right before you get to 100K. So getting to this 150K, I think is, you know, there are some significant challenges ahead. So nonetheless, let's just look at this range here. That gives us somewhere between, let's be conservative because that's how I like to be. You can be however you want. This chart's here for you to look at if you want it. That gives us somewhere between $8 to $12. And, you know, if we didn't quite get, let's say, you know, I like to look at ranges of things. It gives you, you know, it lets you see what the realm of possibilities are. So let's say we didn't quite get up to this level, but we did get above the prior all-time high. So somewhere between $6.65 and $12 is sort of what I might expect for MATIC in this market cycle based on this information. Okay, so I know that's kind of a lot and some of it might be a little convoluted, but this is just kind of how I start to think about things. And it's also why you need, you know, I always recommend when, for instance, with the DCA index, you need to be careful with the altcoins because there just isn't a lot of data. We're running this projection off of, you know, a prior projection in 2017 for Ethereum, just because there isn't enough data to sort of make any more informed decisions. So we're making projections based on the very, very limited data that we have. And so we're just trying to, you know, relate it to something that's been there, done that sort of. So I think that's it for this one, guys. Remember, if you would like to sign up for the DCA index, head over to the Telegram channel and I will get it sent out to you as soon as possible. If you're already signed up, you don't need to do that again. If you guys like this type of content, hit like and subscribe. And until next time, as usual, see ya.